This is going to be a crazy story, but please stay with me. So I've been in crypto since 2020, and there have been no better time to get into crypto than now, right? So I came from poverty. In fact, we were so poor that I had to take butter with Gary to sip because we could not afford to buy granite, and butter was like the only thing we had at home, right? So I got the information about crypto from one of my aunties, right? And I discovered that crypto was one of the best opportunities for the common man to move away from poverty. So I actually took it very serious. I think I got about $50 from my dad to be able to start investing, which took him a lot of time to be able to raise the money for me. So I invested it then in 2020. I bought a particular coin called DOT. I think at that time it was selling at $3.9 for one. And I used the whole of the $50 to buy that DOT coin. And according to my auntie, then she was like, oh, that I should just hold the coin for a very long time and I was going to make money from that particular coin. So yes, I did. I held it. I think 2021 when the bull market came, I just went back to my account, right, because I left the coin in my crypto wallet, which was Hotbit, and I went and I checked, discovered my account had moved from $50 to over $400 because that dot coin had moved from $3.9 for one coin to about $32. This was in late 2021. This was like my first entry into crypto. So to be sure that my eye was not even paying me, I had to go and click on sell. I sold that particular coin, withdrew the money, cash out the money very fast. And yes, I was actually very, very excited. I even told my dad about it and he was very excited. So after this experience, I had started putting all my energy into crypto, learning more about crypto. I bought a lot of coins, bought a lot of meme coins, a lot of utility coins, made a lot of money, also made some losses as well. I think from 2020 till date, I've actually made from my $50, I've been able to make over about $50,000, right, from the crypto market, right? But there is a twist, right? I actually lost a lot of it because I wanted to show off during my early stages. So I carried the money, took my friends out, we just bought some things, tried to show off. But then I think one of like the main investment I did was that I was able to build my parents a house, which was like very, very good. But then over time, I actually lost some money and I got into a very huge debt, and that debt I could not pay. I started getting a lot of threatening calls, um, police calls, and the rest. And I could not do anything because there was nowhere to raise the money again. Either my parents were not like I could not even ask money from them at that time. So what I now did was I had to actually leave crypto to go and find several jobs I could do to be able to raise money. I think 1 year and 2 months later, I was able to raise that money and I paid back the loan I collected. Right after I collected this money, I think I had one crypto guy who was like my big friend, and I decided to say, you know what, let me learn from this guy because this guy has actually been doing very, very well, making a lot of money because he's focused more on trading. He does futures trading. And I said, okay, let me learn. So I learned futures trading. My first trade, I was able to, I think I made about 76% profit. Second trade, I made over 300% profit. I was actually very excited because for me, I was thinking, oh, I've mastered this thing. So I felt I've actually arrived, not knowing that that was my starting point. So the next time I entered a particular trade, and that trade was actually doing well. It got to over 200% profit. I decided not to withdraw. I was like, oh, let me hold it for a very long time. Did 300%, did I think 550%, right? So if I had invested $10 in that particular trade, I was already making very, very huge profit, over $50 profit on that particular trade. I said, okay, what is going to happen? Let me see if I was going to turn the $10 to $100. You know what? I allowed that coin to move. And yeah, it was progressing. Suddenly, I don't know what happened. I think I left my phone, went to do something, and I came back. I realized that coin was down. So it was done. It was already down over 200%. Right? I said, okay, let me leave the coin. Unfortunately, I came back, and I could not find my money again. I had lost it to the market, right? So I constantly battled. I even tried to revenge trade, enter another trade. I was like, oh, I know that this is going to work. Let me enter this trade. I entered that one, I lost money. Entered the next one, I lost money. The only money that was remaining after I had lost a lot of money was $5. I just carried the money, went to Chicken Republic, collected one plate of rice and chicken, and I ate. That trade really taught me a lesson, right? But one thing I was able to pick out after that time was to learn how to control my emotions when it comes to trade, right? Once you start seeing profit, you take out the money. So yeah, I had to discuss that with someone who was like a crypto friend. And he told me that, look, sometimes trade will not always go in your favor. You have to understand what the market is doing and follow what the market is doing. The market says it's time to sell, you sell off. The market says it's time to go up. If it's going up, you go up with it. But then know when you are comfortable with the profit and you take it out. Even though you're not comfortable with it, just take it out. So far as you're seeing profit, just take it out, right? So yeah, I took some time to learn futures, and over time, I've actually learned a lot about trading. And I have students who I'm even teaching, and I have students who I'm teaching now. You can comment your own experience in the comment section. You tell me about your own crypto experience. What happened? Have you been making losses all through, or you've been making a lot of profits all through? Which one? What is your own story?